is Warriors Anonymous.
All right, welcome to Warriors Anonymous. It is a great time to be alive for Warriors fans. Before we get into it, don't forget to head along to warriorsanonymous.co.nz and get yourself some sweet merchandise. There we go. That's a little bit better. Boys, let's have a chat about it because there is a lot going on at the moment for our team. There is a lot going on for friends of the show, particularly. Let's have a chat. First off, we'll start with a hard or nah. We'll start with you, Moneta. Was it a knock-on?
Yes. I didn't have to think. Hard.
Yep.
Hard, yes.
Daniel, are we all in agreement here?
I mean, I think Roger gave it away. He
He
sold it. He's tried to sell that fact that it was a knock-on because he was disappointed with his drop. But you know what? Who gives a fuck? We own
Exactly.
600,000 of them. And Shawnee J brought it up. You know, prelim final. You know, we were still trying to get payback for that.
He went there.
So
Good boy.
he went there.
Yeah, and to be fair, it wasn't anywhere near as forward as that pass. Like, even looking at it on the replays, I'm kind of hang on. Because there's that illusion there, because Roger goes backwards and the ball kind of, carries on.
We all know you drop the ball going backwards to your goal line, they find a way to make it go forward.
Yeah,
we all know it.
That's
you
right.
drop the ball, it's a knock-on.
Yeah, 100%. So I think it's just been it's been quite alarming, the amount of media attention that it's gotten. It's like, what the fuck, guys? Like, did you just expect the Warriors to never ever get a call ever? Is it?
I'm just glad that they had the Broncos went back to form, right? The protected species that they are, and they chucked another one forward.
Yeah,
and they got away with it. It kind of takes the heat, a little bit of the heat off us.
That was another beauty. I did enjoy watching that as well as them losing.
Yes,
but boys, a win against the Dolphins. Interesting game. Moneta, did we get the rub of the green? Do you think with the refereeing during that match?
I thought we had a lot of 6 against us. I was getting a bit frustrated, I guess, in the second half again. But I thought it was, if I was a Dolphins fan, I would be slightly spewing with that knock on. But I think the referee wasn't. I don't think he was too biased. I think, like I said, he gave a lot of 6 against to the Dolphins and so forth. So yeah, and I always get a bit worried when Casey's in the bunker, if I'm being honest.
the badge.
But there was a few. Yeah, I've heard the ref has been stood down too for this week, so I think he's felt the repercussions already. So yeah,
I mean, I felt it was. I'm with you, bro. I didn't think it was a grossly badly managed game.
Too bad.
There was obviously the knock on, which everyone blew up about, but other than that, I was like, well, there were tries disallowed both ways.
Yeah,
we did concede a lot of 6 agains in that second half, and even I saw Dolphins fans, saying, well, they got a bunch of calls in the second half, maybe as a bit of a square up. So yeah, it was interesting. Maybe a bit of swings and roundabouts about it.
I'm not complaining as much about the ref as I used to last year. So that's a difference.
Yeah. Honestly, I think we've had a pretty good run this year so far. He says in a very jinxing manner. A good friend of the podcast, a guy we caught up with a couple of years ago. He was a young fella back then. That was Tanner Stowers-Smith, Warrior number 292. Right, what did you make of his performance?
He was outstanding, solid pace, great leg movement through the middle, defensively strong. Really, really impressed. Actually, kind of just reminded me a little bit of Cheeky Jazz and Dylan Walker, the Bald brothers. Imagine having all three out there as well. But no, I was super impressed with his debut. That's one of the better debuts from one of the young ones. They actually have a real significant part in the game as well. Really kept up the middle. You just really thought he worked hard and justified his spot, actually. So well done to the young man as well. Hope you enjoyed that cheat meal that he's allowed as well. But no, he was awesome.
Yeah, I wonder what cheat meal he's allowed to have these days now that he's at the top. But yeah, bro, I'm with you, man. I actually, watching him, I was like, bro, this guy doesn't even look like it's his debut, man. He looks like he just belongs there, right? Like, just like he's been there for a long time. So that's saying a lot, and just really stoked for him, eh? Like, he's a good fella. And really happy to see him reach, a dream of his and do a real bloody good job as well. So, Moneta, you mentioned about the dreaded second half slump. which we have been experiencing quite a bit of recently. How can we short circuit that issue? What can we do about it?
I don't know. It was funny because the second half wasn't the same as like the previous games where we played against St. George and what is it, the Cowboys? It wasn't like we were leaking in points. Our attack wasn't as good, I guess, in the second half, but I wasn't as disappointed because our defense was holding it quite well, and I thought Capewell and DWZ kind of made up for it on the previous week. Still pretty well. Obviously, in the last 5 minutes, it was a bit of a frenzy, but it was funny because I didn't come away as disappointed. I think it was probably down to the D but yeah, our attack. Yeah, I don't know how to solve that one. It's probably best sits with you two with the halves combination used to play back in the day.
I mean, it's all communication, is it, Daniel? That's my thoughts.
Yeah, or sort of non-verbals, or playing off the cuff, see what you see in front, play off what you see in front of you. But I think part of it is also we're putting a lot of energy into defence in that period of the game as well. So, we're stopping teams, right? But it is juicing us a bit as well. So, yeah, it's a hard one to say. I mean, we're not putting 30, 40 points on teams, but we don't need to at the moment as well.
Yeah,
so
I remember they got a lot of 6 against us, so we're making heaps of tackles. So, damn, you make a good point. Yeah.
It's harder when you're feeling a bit juiced, but it's just not our game style as well. Like we're just, we're not going to, look at the Storm. They kill the Tigers 64-0, and that's amazing. But they can't back it up the week after against quality opposition. Well, that was a ding dong game. Both two good teams. So I don't know. It's just a style. But hopefully we just keep building. I think Bloke in the Bar did some good analysis. We're playing smart football. I mean, we knew we had our bro there, Cody, the turnstile Nikodima. But to be fair, I don't know how he stopped Marata.
Oh, God, yeah, that was a great tackle.
When he'd make one good tackle every 2 years and you stop him. But
it was a great tackle.
They're playing smart football, right? Like they just peppered him, just for that Laban try. So they just kept running at him. He made maybe about 2 or 3 tackles in a row, and then they put a bomb on top of him as well. So I think they're just learning and playing smart footy. We missed one opportunity. I think that's when a guy that maybe Warriors fans didn't really like a couple of years ago, Adam Pompey, made a barnstorming run, lost both his boots in the act. But that set up a really good passage of play as well, and we just didn't ice that moment as well. So just a few little things, but yeah, I'm a little concerned for how we execute points a little bit, but yeah, I mean, we're just building. If we can just keep building into the season, into our play, I think we'll be.
What worries me the most is that we had defended like buggery through the whole second half. We came back, Laban got a good try, which was obviously great to see, and it was 8 minutes to go. And we still nearly lost the game. We were up 16, and all of a sudden, if that last little chip kick had rolled into the hands of Bostock, it would have been just like, oh my God, the old magic carpet ride.
The weird thing about it, this is like a bit of a weird sadistic view I've got. I'm kind of like, okay, try, come on, we'll see how you go. Come on, see if you can do it. It's good, And I mean, it happened to us last year against the Storm when Xavier Coates scored probably the best try of the season. But, I don't want to tempt fate, but these little situations, just they're putting themselves in the mix. And yeah, probably wasn't helped by maybe it's that whole got that last try thinking, oh, sweet, okay, we can just drop the levels down a little bit and then lose someone to the bin. Now,
across the round, there was a couple of all-time freakish plays. Daniel, you mentioned one with Pompey running and losing both boots, which had me in hysterics. Also, there was in a completely different game, Mark Nwanga Nitawasi scoring a freak of a try for the Roosters. It got me wondering, boys. Moneta, we'll start with you, being the resident outside back. If you were playing in the NRL, would you prefer to score 50 career tries or a try like that, one of them?
50 career tries.
You go for the 50? Take the 50?
Yeah,
Buddha, would you take the 50?
Nah.
You want to be in the highlight reels, right?
Highlight reels, especially if it was a grand final, Benji scored many tries, and actually this is not even a try, it's a try assist, but everyone knows Benji's try assist, the flick pass that changed the nation, But yeah, one player I did want to highlight, Jed, we would have done this many a time, is Luka Mikiafu.
Okay.
A few forward passes, but Luka Mikiafu just playing off the cuff, little grubber
Oh,
to
yeah,
get
yeah.
around Cody, and Cody trying to half tackle him as well, but just eyes up footy. I mean, obviously it was a barnstorming win from Aaron, just
You're in Clark.
laid a massive platform, just bulldozed his way through. But yeah, that kind of footy that's they had Freddie in the eighth and Billy Slater talking, eh?
Oh, they were waxing lyrical, weren't they, about it? I was looking at that thinking, getting flashbacks to bloody Alfie Langer in his prime, running across old Suncorp, whatever it was called back then, Lang Park, and doing, tries like that. And I just saw today as well that Lukey is actually shot to the top of the Dally M charts at the moment. So, what is going on? This is, such an incredible sort of time. Moneta, we have spoken a little bit about the Capel, the man out there in the centre filling in, I guess, and also Pompey. I'm just going to ask you, bro, is that our best centre pairing?
The way Capewell played, there's no argument. He played outstanding, I thought, on defence, and obviously got that try. I don't know. I mean, once Eli Latawa comes back, I'd still be inclined to put him back in with Adam Pompey. I know Capewell's done the job. He's done a great job, but I'd put him back in his original position and put Eli Latawa. And just again start, we've got to, start getting that confidence back with Ale, because we know how game breaking he can be. And then we've even got Rocco to think about. So we've got quite a few picks.
So if everyone's fit, raring to go, no injuries, no suspensions, we've got Capewell, Pompey, Leatawa, or Berry to choose from in the centres. Give me your 3 and 4.
I'm going to say this: Pompey and Ale Latawa.
Ooh.
At the beginning of the year, I would have said Rocco and Ale Latawa.
Yep.
But now I'm saying Pompey and Ale Latawa.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with that based on form, especially. He's been sensational. I actually feel like Pompey, since they bumped him out to the wing, ever since that point, he's just gained a little bit of extra juice, even though he's, come back into the midfield. And it's like, bro, he's found his groove. Buddha, who is your best centre pairing for the Wise?
Yeah, I mean, I think Pompey deserves it. What I really like is his defensive reads.
Yeah.
He's shutting play down, right? Smart. And I mean, that's that we know how you can get that wrong. You can jam too early, jam wrong, get caught out as well. It does take a lot of obviously communication with the, with the halves making that cover tackle on the corner as well. So loving that. But yeah, I'd probably go Pompey, and it would be a toss up between Ali and Rocco. It would just be based on fitness and form, right? Who gets back, who's fit, ready to go. And actually, that's the way the squad will have to operate when everyone's fit, is that when, you're not necessarily just guaranteed to walk back in as well. So it's a great problem to have as well. But we know what Rocco can do. He's defensively really sound and he's got a bit of pace. And I actually think a little bit of top end speed might help us as well, especially if we, in those second half periods where maybe we probably know we lack a little bit of, pace out wide. Pace, like true pace as well. So, but we make up for that with some pretty robust, big-ish outside backs.
In terms of our outside backs, Moneta, I thought one guy particularly unlucky, and it was Tane Tuopiki. What's your thoughts on his demotion from the squad?
He's unlucky. I thought he'd been doing the job quite well. I know he's quite a short winger compared to the standard wingers nowadays, but I still thought he did a great job. If I was to pick wingers, it would be a tough one. I mean, DWC still gave me a few heart attacks in the first half. I really jammed him a few times. And lucky Capewell came in pretty quickly. But I'm just wondering against sides like the Raiders, which we are playing this Sunday, will take advantage of that because they've got some pretty quick backs and can expose it and love the offloads. And so if DWZ keeps on doing that, I reckon Raiders will be targeting that. So I'm a bit worried about DWZ if I'm being honest still.
Yeah, they got some real strike, the old the Raiders.
Playing good rugby.
Got please give it up for Xavier Savage as well. So going to have to be on the ball, I guess, in that game. We are entering now an interesting period of the season, which has typically been a real strong part of the year for the Warriors, albeit that we're actually at a pretty strong start to the year anyway. So, Daniel, what's your thoughts on how this origin period is going to play out, particularly in our context? We'll be, losing at least Barney for the foreseeable, and also Fisher Harris as well, probably for one to two games or one game, I guess.
Yeah, we obviously knew Barney was going to make the New South Wales squad, and super stoked for him to be making it the starting side as well. I think his form's permitted that too. So we've kind of always known about that. I was, not concerned. You don't want people to miss out on selection, but I wondered whether Capes had done enough to make it as well. But I think we probably know he's probably in their mindset if someone does go down. But they should probably allow him to play this weekend, hopefully. And then obviously Fish. Yeah, it's traditionally we've obviously picked up here, and we've been the benefactors of the fact that we play teams that have missing players, and we're missing players too. Although I go back a few seasons and we lost to a baby Broncos team, which really fucked me off. And I went and watched that game in Napier, and it was just bad, just poor viewing. Anyway,
Was it the Jersey Pool one, the Pompey Jersey Pool at the end of the game?
Yeah, something like that. We scored and just allowed it. But the problem is we shouldn't have been in that position anyway. Like, we should have humped them. But anyway, that's back then. But actually, weirdly, and I'm getting a bit weird in these moments, is that it's a great chance to test the depth, and it's a great chance. And we've got, I think the way Webby has kind of given the wider squad and these younger forwards opportunities, and they haven't just chucked them in and expected them to sink or swim as well. He sort of built them into it. It's actually an opportunity where your two captains, technically not going to be there as well, and your two alphas, the two guys that two of the three alphas, right? That you rely on as well. They're not going to be there. So actually, I'm partly looking forward to seeing how the boys shape up, who comes in as well. Gives you a lot of confidence. We've had Tanner debut, and he looked comfortable. Jacko's should come back as well. And, you know what you're going to get from Jacko too. We've got Marata that can come into there too, and he's actually finding some really good form out wide. Tom Ali, he's at reserve grade level, too good for that grade really as well, so he can command a spot. Dimitric's been playing good footy as well, so yeah, part of me is interested to see how that go.
I'm interested to see how they work things and who comes into the rotation at this week, especially without the two big dogs there. But Moneta, it was really good to see one of these young lions in the team, and that is Jacob Laven, come in and get his first try, and he's starting to look pretty good as well, like just in his general play. So is he starting to force his way into the top team when everyone's available as well?
Yeah, oh, definitely. And that's the great thing, and that's what same thing that Daniel alluded to. We've got these young up and comers, and they're all doing good. They're all fighting for competition. Part of me thinks the mentality that James Fisher-Harris has brought across into the squad. You can definitely tell there's a bit more resilience and steel behind what they're doing, and maybe he's leading from the pack, no pun intended. But it's because I read an article about how the James Fisher-Harris effect has started to rub off on the kind of young forwards that we have, and I think you can't think of any better mentor, I guess, including Barnett. So you've got two great mentors for these young forwards to learn from. And yeah, I'm actually starting to go with what Daniel's saying. I think I'm not too worried. And with Jacob Laven, prime example, he's standing up to those moments, scores a try, he's making the meters, making those tackles. Lecker, I can't go on. We have to keep him. We can't lose him. If we lose him, I'll be bloody gutted. He played full 80 minutes again. He makes those post-contact meters, as always. Yeah, bring on the next one. I'm eager to see. But yeah, no, I still want James Fisher-Harris back. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens next.
There's a couple of good things that these young guys offer, and that is a bit of extra X factor and a bit of athleticism. And you could see it. There was Lecker nearly got a try from a kick. Laban did go up and get a try from a kick, and that's the kind of excitement factor that they have over and above, the old dogs who are, still playing decent footy. And that's part of what excites me. Just on the Fisher-Harris thing, obviously he's going to be suspended for, I'm guessing he'll take the guilty plea, take the 1 week and come back the following. So, Daniel, I'll put it to you, bro. Did he just get a little bit carried away? Now we're up 16-0. We got the winning of the game right there in the palm of our hand. And he just kind of goes in a little bit over the top.
Yeah, there was obviously a few flare-ups kind of leading to that moment. I don't know what his name is. He played sort of 13 and a bit of 9 as well, and a bit of a young bull. And he was, looked like he was chirping a bit, and Aaron was chirping, and Fish was doing his thing too. Yeah, I mean, it's a double-edged sword. Part of me is like, Warriors need, as a alpha, and in situations like that, you need someone who can manhandle the other team just to kind of put them in their place too. But the consequences of that, obviously, in today's game is brutal, right? And then actually put us under pressure for the last 6 minutes as well, because all we need to do is just kind of rub that game out at the end. But we didn't. We had a little hairy moment, obviously, with that ball going out. But so it's a double-edged sword in the fact that no one really goes against the judiciary these days. Gone are the Billy Slater, being able to get off something miraculously as well. So those days are over. But so it'll be 1 week, which has not come at the best time as well. So part of me thinks though he'll be disappointed in himself, and that will kind of really reaffirm the effort he will put in between now, and the rest of the season, which we know he will. But he'll show the boys like, oh yeah, let you down, and I'll let the team down in the game and let the team down for this week. But I'll put you on my back and I'll make it up for you for the rest of the season. So I kind of like that part. Yeah, it's hard, man. You want to smash those fuckers, especially those little mouthy ones, though.
Yeah, I can imagine Fisher Harris going out there. They say he doesn't, speak a hell of a lot. Every time I see him, I just imagine him doing like DMX kind of growls, like out there.
Well,
but
you've seen that clip with him and Moses Leota. I think about the Reese Walsh the reply, and he was like, "Your mum," and he talked to some reporter or some kid, and it must have been in front of the Opera House, and they had that thing. They're like, just won the premiership. It must be like 5 a.m, and they're like, "Your mum, Dad's mum." But apparently, I heard he got 2 weeks, potentially 3 weeks for the bum fluff chin, dyed blonde hair.
You had me, Nero.
Yeah.
You nearly had me there.
That's
Nearly had me.
From
This is going around.
From a veteran, that's you should know better by that point, surely. Come on, man. It's
you're a fish, man. Do what you want. You can do what you want.
Won't be
Who's going to
saying
say?
anything to him.
Who's going to say anything at all?
That's true. That's true.
He's going to say it to him.
Yeah,
by
that's
the way,
right.
that stinks.
Certainly not me. Moneta, let's have a look at the team to take on the Raiders this week. Obviously, Fisher Harris out, Barnett out, definitely. Neither of the centers are due back this week. So, first of all, we'll start in the centers before we get into the forwards. Does Capewell stay in the center spot?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, Capewell's done a great job. Keep him there, especially the defense against Raiders.
Cool. So that leaves us with a couple of spots there in the front row. A couple of middles. Who are you thinking to fill that sort of gap?
Jackson Ford will be back.
Sorry, Miss Jackson.
Yeah, Bunty. Maybe Bunty I think.
Is Bunty back? I think he might have another week.
Is he?
I think he might be back
Shit.
around 13. I could be wrong though.
Damn.
Actually, I don't think he's on I don't think he's on the actual official list at the moment. You know how they have the list?
All right.
Let me check.
I thought he was only up for like a week.
Yeah, me too. I thought he'd be back.
He's not on there.
Oh, okay. If that's the case.
Yeah, he is. They've got it with his Samoan name,
Julio.
Lulio, but it says TBC, so it could be this week. But when they do that, it kind of clouds his return.
Yes, I'm pretty sure I read last week it was he had or they were expecting him back this round, so I think that might have been sneakily updated.
Give Tanner get Tanner back in.
Also, they've got a little silhouette which looks nothing like Bunty. There's no hair at all on there.
Yeah, you'd expect the big whoop.
Yeah. Okay then. If he's not back, then maybe get Tanner back in.
Yeah, nice. Butter, what's
I
your
wrote a
thoughts?
team list.
He came ready to play. I like it.
Came prepared. So I think we're obviously Chans at the back, down on the wing, Pompey and Roger back to the centres, with Tuopiki back on the wing
Okay.
as well.
yeah,
And I think it's hard done by to miss out, but actually, in this long season, a week rest kind of thing, especially bumps and bruises, come back stronger. Obviously, we've got a Chanel and Luca. I would go with Ford, Egan, and Marata to start. And this is also if Bunty's not available, but I just think Marata we can put Capes back into the edge now as well, with Marata going into the middle too, because I think we need middles this week without our two big middles. And then Capes and Leka, and then Aaron. And then on the bench, I quite like having Tamaidi on the bench. I just think maybe that will give us that backs cover, and also he can play in the middle if needed with Dimitrik and Tanner and Jacob. So we still have two middles on the bench. obviously with Jacob who can
Oh, that's a good
spell in
one.
there as well. That's obviously there's no Bunty, but yeah, I mean Cates has been doing a great job, and I think if we could be a bit light on experience forwards as well.
Yeah, three young lions on the bench there. I like it. I like it a lot. Also interesting to note, there's been a subtle change in the New South Wales Cup team in recent weeks. The last 2 weeks, Tom Ale, normally a middle, he's been actually playing on the right edge. So I don't know if that's just worth keeping under your hat to see what happens. But quickly, boys, we're gonna run. Actually, we're just about running out of time. Had a few technical issues earlier on. Are we gonna get revenge, Moneta, for Vegas against the Raiders?
Yes, I think
Yes.
that actually was what we needed for the beginning of the year, and that put us back onto where we are now. So yes, I think it's going to be a much closer game.
Cool. I hope so.
I hope so too.
Daniel, are we gonna get them back? The Green Machine.
This is a real tester, right? For multiple reasons, young fellas, and the Raiders are playing well. They got a big pack. They're physical. They're fast. So Warriors fans, this is probably a little bit of a yardstick. How are we actually traveling as well? And it's a good sort of mid-ish season tester. So looking forward to it. Really, can't wait.
Did Corey Horsburgh make Origin?
I don't think
No,
so.
I don't.
All
I
right.
can't wait for him and Laban to
Yes.
square up.
Ding ding. Bloody get it on. They must have that on pay-per-view or something. Get it ready. Oh, that would be something to watch. After was it last year when Laban got hit twice in the face, didn't even blink, and then got sent off.
Yeah. I think he did something before. I think he chopped him beforehand. But hey, it's all fun and games, eh?
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Big game coming up, Warriors versus Raiders. Boys, thanks for jumping on to break it all down. And until next week, up the wires. Go the Warriors. And hey, also, thank you to the referees.
La cucaracha ya no puede caminar.